Well, Paul, I had you a little bit there on the Milford, PA, SDR, but kind of faded out at the end. So I guess Mother Nature's doing one of her jobs this afternoon. But come back and try it again, Paul.
I'm in Truman, Arkansas, which is in northeast Arkansas. How do you copy, Glenn?
I got you a little bit better now on my local antenna. I copied Arkansas. Is that Roger?
Yeah, that's correct, Glenn.
Okay, and what radio are you running, sir?
450 Kenwood, running barefoot, hand mic.
Roger, Roger. Well, doing a pretty good job there. I got you at about 4 dB over my noise level, but you were above that some and below that some, Roger.
Yes, it's the band is up and down. I don't hear it much on 40 meters here, but I was sitting across, and I heard you there, and I said, well, I think I'll go ahead and check in, and then when I get done, I'll go to the computer, and maybe I can hear what this thing sounds like.
Roger, Paul. Now, there is a little delay on my part as far as getting around to being able to post it. So I usually say within the next couple of days, I'll get it posted up on YouTube. A lot of times, it's usually a lot quicker than that. But just to be on the safe side, I usually give it 2 days. Roger?
You got a lot there to do, and it takes time to do it, so it's no problem.
And I've really got my fingers crossed that this is going to be a good take, since we have had 3 in a row that have gone south for various reasons, all starting from a major power outage in our area while the computer was recording. And of course the computer crashed and the video file was lost, forever unretrievable. Although, you know, the video size said it was 2 point something gigabytes of information, which is usually just about correct for an hour and a half program, but it would only load out 8 minutes. So, you know, I tried for 20 hours myself to various and sundry programs to try to restore that file, but I couldn't, and then I turned it over to my ELMER and his crack entourage of computer experts, and they are computer experts, and they also could not revive that crashed file. So I didn't feel badly then when they couldn't perform magic, Roger.
Yeah, I understand. Well, I just looked at the radio here, Jim, and I seen where the processor was turned on. So I turned it off, and I thought maybe we could try it there with the processor off. And now I'm going to turn it back on. So there's the processor on the rig there. So I don't know if you can hear any difference or not. But anyway, we'll give it a try there. Go ahead.
Roger, Paul. Well, I only had you were only about 2 dB above my noise level when you fired that compressor up. And, you know, I can only tell what is happening by my noise level. If you're 5 dB above my noise level, then I can see a lot of stuff happening and working, you know, and how it works. And what your average peak modulation is and all that stuff. But when the noise is up, you're only 2 dB above noise, you can't tell much. But I do suggest that you run that compressor at about a 3 out of 10. It's not anything that you'll hear working, and that's the whole idea, because when you hear a compressor working, they're cranking in too much. You just want that to just settle a slight score there audio-wise, and so a 3 out of 10 does that perfectly. And then we move to the ALC, and with the mic gain in hand, we adjust the ALC for a mid-scale to 2/3 reading. Mid-scale to 2/3 on your ALC meter after you bring that compressor to a 3 out of 10. Roger?
I've got this rig here, and it's new to me, and I've got the book. I'm going to have to read the book and understand it a little bit more. I'm just talking on it just like it was when it was handed to me. But anyway, I'm glad that you have this little feature here where you can record and let people play back. That's a good service there. I've never heard of anybody that would do that. But anyway, maybe they can check their rig out. And you say about a couple of days, so that'll be about Sunday for me, and I'll check this out there. So KC9VKV, this is W5PRC.
Roger, Roger. Let me get that W5PRC. I knew I was missing a letter in there. You were 5 over that last transmission, so you know, you'll have a pretty good audio check recording with a 5 over. So good deal. We'll be posting this, you know, and like I say, within the next couple of days, and it'll be identified after you go to YouTube and do a call letter search, Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, and that's take you to the Qso-Vlog page, and you'll be looking for my group air check 8919. 8919. Roger, Roger.
Yes, and do I just listen to all that until I find it, huh?
Well, I'll tell you, let me give you a mark. It is 3:45, so you've probably been, for the last 5 minutes or so, so probably there's a clock on the wall on the Radio Shack, so you'll be looking for, you know, if you just want to cut to the chase, man, you'll be looking for 3:40, Roger.
Yeah, okay, I understand. That's 3:40. You're Eastern time, so I'm Central. Okay, sounds good, Jim. Thank you very much. And talk later. KC9VKV, W5PRC.
Roger, Roger, Paul. Now, a lot of folks track through the whole recording because they have a kaleidoscope of different radio tonalities to consider, you know, that I've always found to be most interesting. I guess that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because, you know, there are all different kinds of modulation setups, probably as many modulation setups as radios, but not really. I know for a fact about 170 some odd ICOM 7300s are set up identical, and about 60 7610s, and they're doing quite well. Well, what we want to do at the end of our setup is have an audio spectrum width of 3 dB, and with the 3 dB audio limit, your average peak modulation is between 80 and 85%. That is average peak modulation, not just peak modulation. So anyway, Paul, 3's that way, sir, and appreciate the check by, and if you get a chance, check in next Friday. We will love to see you there and talk about what you've been up to and all that stuff. So 3's for now. KC9VKV in the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog program. If you've got a radio you want to check out, give us a shout.
Okay, Jim, one more thing. What time do you start this, and what time do you end? Next Friday, I will be on my way to Huntsville, Alabama, to the Ham Fest, so I won't get to check in next Friday. But I'm making a little note here, and so give me the time when you start and everything.
Oh yes, sir. We start at 3:30 Eastern Daylight Time. My time right now is 10 till, well, 11 till 4. Right now my time is 11 till 4, Roger.
And what time do you end?
At 5, plus or minus, but not usually minus, but usually we're maybe 5 or 10 over.
Okay, great. I appreciate it. And chat later. W5PRC.
Roger, Roger, and good luck on your Hamfest there. If you get a chance to get a couple of insulators, let's see, what else did I need? I need some insulators and some, well, anyway, you have a good time at the Hamfest. This is KC9VKV, and we are doing our Qso-Vlog network. If you've got a radio you want to check out, give us a shout.